right there, and look at this. Incredible explosion, fuel spraying out over the spectators in the first few rows. That could mean real trouble. Another explosion, and like a pinwheel or a garden sprinkler, all the fuel is being sprayed out of the car from flying into the crowd. There, watch now, the screen itself is completely destroyed. The cables flinging him back out on the race course upside down, and again that fuel spraying on the crowd. That's a matter of great concern. And here, that pinwheel effect. The alcohol-based fuel spinning out of the car upside down, another car.
Even moving the way he is. Now look at the replay of the action. They go into the turn together. As they go into turn 1 there, you can see they're going even, going into turn 2 even. As they go through there together, somehow they touch. Now you see Sneeva in the blue car low down, and he actually goes into what I would call a classic open wheel racing car action. It climbs over the front wheel of the yellow car, of Rasmussen's car. This is a type of action that can occur.
He didn't. I don't think he got touched or anything. He lost the rear end a little bit to the right. The car hooked. It immediately made a right-hand turn and right straight into the wall. Of course, that's what we're really worried about with Stan Fox the most. He really hit the wall head on.
Yeah, took the front of his Renard off. Looked like it may have been Schieber, though it might have been Fox. Got into the grass. Lost
the wind, I'm sure.
He tried everything he could to catch it. Once he got the wall, he was totally out of control. Cut the gearbox off the back of the car as well as the rear suspension, and did some damage to the...
That oil was just everywhere. Hamilton right there.
Another look at it. Here comes Guerrero. He loses it.
He just loses it. Whoa!
Up so high over the top of the camera.
And those two guys were, look at that. The force and that just took those unbelievable accidents.
Well, that hit on the fence by Zan.
That oil was just everywhere. Hamilton just barely clipped him, but boy, he backed into the fence very hard. Almost gets upside down. He hit that wall.
The crash.
Well, they're taking... Oh, contact was made between Schrader and Sarah Fisher back there. She just kind of ran over some stuff, but Schrader...
It was a big accident, that's for sure. Apparently, the doctor at the track had small plastic bags.
No one's fault, you know, it's just victim of circumstances, so it was a real shame.
He almost seems bulletproof, all the things he's been through, and to walk away from this is just remarkable, especially when you see him flip it through the air 3-4 times.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but obviously looking at the car and looking at what happened, I think it's pretty bad. But you know, yeah, you know, thank God he didn't hit anything real hard, you know. So that's the main thing, and he's walking and everything.
Well, here it is again. Here's how they come into 3, Scotty.
Actually, you can see on the very underside what a ride that was. Remember we had last year with Buddy Rice getting airborne coming out of turn 2 when they touched wheels. And here's the situation. Briscoe going underneath. Barron trying to come down on the racetrack. They both are going for the same piece of real estate.
He came into this series absolutely kicking. Look at some replays here of Catherine's incident. This is the kink. Now she's back. She's already around, and she hits the wall with phenomenal force. The car flies up in the air, catches the fence a bit. The motor breaks off as she comes back down, and the tub continues to go. As the gearbox and the rear tires up in the air there, as the tub barrel.
Inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay, this reminds me almost of Dan Weldon's crash here in turn 3 and 4 quite a few years ago, and the car is up into the fence, which is almost reminiscent of Kenny Brack over the top, and you can see Ryan Hunter-Reay moving his hands, and he looks up in front of him, and he goes, my gosh, I can't believe that.
Oh, wow. Oh, so close. Unreal.
A very busy period with Danica Patrick showing the way speed-wise at
kind of impact. Oh boy! Well, look at the debris go through. Oh boy! And oh, fencing. Yeah, it does look like there might be some.
49 pontos na liderança e saiu 25 pontos atrás do novo líder Scott Dixon, e essa horrível imagem do acidente entre Takuma Sato e Dario Franchitti. Ainda bem que a gente
things might get a little bit loose for you. That's what happened to Will Power when I saw that 2 years ago in turn number 2. Ideally, I think you'd like to be low, in particular going into... Oh, we have a huge crash here on the track right now. It looks like Mikhail Aloshin. I'll have to look up who it is. I saw Aloshin earlier.
All right, we've got a slow-mo here. Let's watch what happens here. There's 2. He loses coming into 2. Back in, gets away. Slaps that safer barrier. And then he hangs on for a wild ride here. That's probably the best angle we've had so far. Is
Garden around the outside, and it was like he just lost it all on his own. Cold tires.
That was a big move from Newgarden, and boy,
the line away from Will, cut the air off the front of the car. Not anything wrong with that move. He was completely clear of him, and it just pulled the back end of Will Power's car around.
And then those Juncos racing cars have been struggling, and we got one on the wall right now. Oh my goodness! One car airborne. It's Scott Dixon. He makes contact with the 77 of Jay Howard, who got up.
I have never witnessed an accident like that.
You know, we talked about the number 3 of Elio Castroneves going underneath Scott Dixon's car. Remember, it was Elio a few years ago that ended up going airborne between turns 1 and 2 and walked away from that incident as well.
Sideways, and look at that. Wickens just climbs over the 28 and up into the fence.
It was a vicious impact. That is the fastest part of the racetrack. You know, you're wide open, 2 cars contact, and the angle at which they darted off into the wall.
He touched there, Hunter-Reay goes, and then Wickens just climbs the left rear, and really don't need to say more. It's just total destruction.